Hi everyone. Today we are going to draw the path of light through a glass slab and then through a prism. Okay. So first let us have a look at this glass slab. So here if you look at the glass slab, here you see what is the shape of it is totally made of a glass. It is a transparent material. Transparent material. What's the shape of this material? It is looking like a cuboid, right? So it's made of a glass. It's a transparent material. So what is the principle behind the working of glass slab? It is refraction. So this already we have studied in theory. So here what we do, we let the light enter the glass slab through one face and then we observe the ray, that incoming ray through the opposite phase. That means if you let the light incident the glass slab through this phase, then you observe those incident rays, okay, through which phase? This phase. Okay, so these are the two phases, or we can say two refracting phases of the glass slab, this one and this one. Okay, so we are going to start the experiment. So let me introduce the materials to you before we start it. So here, okay, so let me introduce the materials required. We need a drawing board, but here at my home a suitable drawing board was not available. So the board was so hard. So what I did, I just took a thermocol piece and fixed over it. Okay, but you don't worry, you will get a proper drawing board, okay, in your lab. So first we need a drawing board, then we need a white sheet, we need few all pins, then we need a scale, pencil and a protractor. Okay, so let me keep the things aside. So the first step is and a glass slab. Okay, so the most important part is the glass slab. Sorry, I forgot to show that because already I had shown it. Okay, so here what we do, first of all we take the drawing sheet and then we have to fix the drawing sheet on this drawing board. So for that, here I am taking the all pins. Okay, so I fix it here. It's thermocol, that's why we hear that sound. Okay, just let me fix it. Okay, now the next step is take the glass slab. See, have a look at this glass slab. Okay, now take the glass slab and keep at the center of this sheet. Okay, now after that, what you have to do, you take the pencil and then draw its outline. Okay, draw the outline. Then what you do, you remove this glass slab and then you give a name to this outline. Okay, so let me give the name like any name you can give. I'm giving the name here A, B, C, D. After that, what you have to do, you just mark the center, okay, rough center of this interface AB, and then you just shift few centimeter to the left of this center point and mark a point there. Okay, and then what you do, you take a protractor and keep the protractor at this point. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a normal at this point. So normal means, you know, it is a line that is at a 90 degree to that surface. So here you see this line is acting as this interface. Okay, this interface. Okay, so on this interface I'm going to draw a normal now. Normal at this point. So first let me mark okay, 90 degrees marked, and then let me take the scale. Okay, so I make a normal here, right? So one part is done. So this is a normal, right? Now what I do, from this point, okay, or from this normal, I just mark okay, I can mark an angle in between 30 and 40 degrees. It is suitable for performing this practical. So 30 degree from the normal, okay. So 10, 20, 30, 35, almost 35 marking here. Okay, so now let me just draw a line here. Okay, line is made here. This is at what angle? 35 degree. 35 degree. This is the, so this will be acting as the incident ray. So what I do now, I'll be fixing two all pins. Okay, two all pins. Look, I think you can see it. Two all pins I'm going to fix on this line. So when I fix the all pins, two things I need to remember. One is the pins are to be fixed vertically to the paper. That means it should be at 90 degree to this plane of the paper. And the second thing is the distance between the pins should be minimum 5 centimeter. Okay. Otherwise there is a chance for getting the error. Okay. So here it is almost 10. Okay. Total. So I'm marking here till here. Okay. I'm marking one pin till here, not here. Okay, one pin is fixed, and then the other pin I'm fixing. Okay, at least it should be at a distance of 5 centimeter from the first one. But when you fix it, one thing you need to remember, both the pins are to be vertical. Okay, both should be vertical and minimum distance should be 5 centimeter. Okay, now here one thing you need to remember, here you see I don't need the help of any object for fixing the pin here because I am using a thermocol. But when you see the drawing board that is available in the lab, that board is not as soft as the thermocol, so it will be little hard compared to this. But you should not hammer the nail. I mean, see, don't hammer the all pin. So like suppose I'll show you. Suppose this is what your all pin. Okay, here I cannot fix because this is very hard. So then what you do, you will be given a mild. You can use the back of the pen. Oh, sorry, pencil if it is flat for fixing the all pin, or if you are given any other. Okay, see, this type of back surface you can use, or you may be given some other hard object in the lab, okay, just for fixing it. So usually what children do, they take it and they hammer it. Don't do it. What you have to do, just you press, okay, on the head of this all pin, just you press it, the pin will go inside, okay, because that drawing board is not very hard. This you remember. And what I have to do, so I'll keep the glass slab back. Now what I am going to do is, see, these are the objects now. What are the objects? These all pins are the objects which are kept in front of this refracting face. And now see, these the rays which are coming from these all pins. Coming means actually they are not luminous objects, they are reflected from the all pins, okay. So the rays which are coming from these all pins, they strike this interface at what angle? 35 degree. This is the meaning. I hope you are getting my point. Now what are you going to do? You have to bend down and you have to bring your eye in level with this refracting face. And what are you supposed to do? You have to observe the image of, you are going to observe these two pins through this surface. This interface. Okay, let me tell you what I did till here. So first we made the outline. We made the incident ray. We fixed the all pins here, right? And then what we are going to do, we bend down and bring the eye level, you see, in level with the, which one? The level of the glass slab. Okay. Then after that, what are we going to do? See, we are trying to see this incident ray. Incident ray means the ray coming from the all pins. That means we are trying to see those all pins through which phase? This phase. So here, okay, here we know what happens to the ray. It bends like this and then comes out like this. This we studied in theory. So let us see whether it is going to happen when we really perform the practical. Okay, now we are going to continue. So what we have to do now? We will bend down. We will try to see these all pins through the glass slab. Okay, so close one eye and then we try to observe through the, with one eye we will try to observe those all pins through this interface. Okay, that is what the next step. So let us do it now. Okay, now what you have to do? Okay, bend down, then try to see these two all pins through the glass, through this face of the glass slab. Okay, close one of your eyes and then see the other two pins and try to position your eye in such a way that, see, this is, let me call this as the first pin, this as a second pin, okay. So when you see these pins through this interface, you try to locate your eye in such a way that when you look at this one, the other one should not be visible, okay. So that way you have to locate the eye. Then after that what you have to do, you see in which line you are seeing both the pins, okay. Locate that line of sight and keep a scale over here. Here you can see a line which I already made. So this is the line along which I am seeing both the pins, okay. Both the pins means here if I shift little left or right, I can see them separately. If I bring my eye in this level, then I see only one pin, that is this pin, because the other pin is coming just behind it from here. Now what I do, just bring third pin, okay, and try to fix it in line with these two pins, so that after I fix this pin, I should see only this one, okay, in this line. And when I shift left or right, then I'll be able to see the other, all the three pins. Now I am seeing only this pin. Now what should I do? I take one more pin, okay, and then I do the same procedure. So I close one eye and observe all the three pins in the same line, and then the same line I am fixing one more pin, so that when I fix the last pin I should see only the fourth one in that line. When I shift, I see all the four. Okay, so when I look from here, it appears like these all four pins are in the same line. Okay, so let me just bring the camera here and let me try to show you. So here what you have to do, when I bring the camera here, you just observe the lines. Line means this is the line of incident ray, this is the emergent ray. So from this side, when you look at that, it looks like it is a straight line. Okay, here you make sure that all four pins are vertical. I made this all ray diagram with the help of a pen to improve the visibility. Okay, so here this is the incident ray and this is the emergent ray. Let's have a look at this incident ray. I mean this all pins through this interface of the slab. Okay, so I am bringing the camera down. You can see the incident ray and the emergent ray are coinciding in one line of sight along this line, and all four all pins are the same line. But as you shift sidewise, okay, you see that all pins separately. Again, when you come in this line, you are seeing only this fourth pin. Now, when you shift left, again you see them separately. I hope you are able to see it. At least you will be seeing this incident ray, right? This is incident ray. Okay, here I am keeping my finger. That is the incident ray. Okay, now let us see it from the top. Now what we have to do, remove this glass slab and these all pins. Then we have to measure these angles, angle of incidence and angle of refraction on each interface, and then we have to mark it there. This I already measured. Here the angle comes 35 degree. And then what you have to do, you extend this direction of incident ray, and here you show this lateral shift. Okay, this perpendicular distance between this, the emergent ray and this original path of incident ray, this is called what? Lateral shift. Okay, so before you stick this sheet in the journal, you have to measure all the angles and you have to label it. And one more thing, here you see this we made in the practical and this ray also we made. And here then how we obtained the path of light through the glass slab. For that what we need to remember, here light entered the slab and here refraction occurred. And after that it is striking, it is leaving at this point. So we know that once the light enters the medium, there is no bending throughout the medium. So here to here the light goes straight. Okay, that logic helps us to draw the path of light through the glass slab. That is how this path is made. Okay, that's all about the glass slab. Okay, next we see about propagation of light through a prism. This is how a prism looks. It has two triangular faces and three rectangular faces. 1, 2, 3. It's made of glass. Okay. Now these rectangular faces, these faces are called what? The refracting faces. Okay, so if you let the light enter from this face, okay, and let it, okay, and you observe it through the other face, then this third rectangular face is called the base of the prism. Then it has how many triangular faces? Two triangular faces are there. Now look here, if I take these two as the refracting faces, okay, if these two are the refracting faces, this is the line along which these two faces are meeting. Then this is called the refracting edge of the prism. If this is refracting edge, then this is called the angle of the prism. What do you mean by angle of the prism? Angle between the two refracting faces. I think you studied this all detail in theory. Okay, if you don't remember this, once you revise the theory, okay. Now we know that when you just take a cut of the principal cross section of this prism, what shape we are getting? We are getting a triangle shape. That is why Okay, on board we represent the prism like this. So let me call this prism as ABC. So here what we are going to do, here we let the, what you say, light strike on one refracting phase, okay, on one refracting phase. That means this is one refracting phase. Then, so just let me hold these two. This is base, okay. This is one refracting phase. Now what we are going to do, we let the light enter through this refracting phase and we observe that light through this refracting phase. So here first let us see where we should position our eye for seeing that a refracted ray. So that ray diagram will help us to locate the position. This is the ray which is striking on the first phase, okay, refracting phase. Now this is the normal, this is air, this is glass, light traveling from rarer to denser medium. So this is the direction of incident ray. So the light bends towards the normal. So this way the light goes little down. Now this light is striking on this interface. Again draw normal here. Then the light, see here this is the direction of incident ray on this interface. Now the light is going from denser to rarer medium. It bends away from normal, so bends down. So remember, when you locate the incident ray coming out of this interface, don't try to locate it here. You will not be able to see it. Bend down and bring the eye here near the base of the prism. Then only you will be able to see the incident ray. So what we are going to do here, as we did in the case of a glass slab, here we fix the two all pins. Okay, so all pins are the objects and the rays coming from those objects, those rays are being observed from this refracting face of the prism, and then we are trying to locate, okay, the line of sight, and we will see in which direction the prism tells us the rays are coming and in reality how the rays are going. This is what we are going to do. Okay, so let us start it. Okay, so here now we are going to see the refraction through a prism. So here actually I made already, okay, the ray diagram ready. I performed it already, but I'll tell you what to do. So take the white paper, fix it, okay, as we did in the case of a glass slab. Then, okay, one thing you have to do before that, yes, you have to fold the sheet, okay, fold the sheet, see, along its length, fold it into two equal halves. After that, what you do, just, okay, try to get an impression of that folding here and just to draw a line there. Then what you have to do, fix the white sheet over here, okay, fix the white sheet. Then take the prism and let the prism lie on this paper on one of its triangular face, okay. So there are two triangular faces, so I am keeping it like this, such that see one edge of this prism should coincide with the line which we already made. Here you see, this was the line which I made, okay, this was that line which I got after folding. So then what I have to do, I have to keep, see, like this, look, like this it comes, got it. So that way I kept here. Then what you have to do, you just draw the outline, okay, just draw the outline of this prism as we did in the case of a glass slab. Then what you have to do, remove this prism from here and then you just mark one point, not in the center, okay, just a few millimeter to the left of the center, and then draw a normal there. Then draw one angle of incidence, mark one angle and then draw one what to say, line there. That will be our incident ray. Now what you do again, okay, now you must be knowing what to do because already you have seen the glass slab. Now fix the two all pins on this line such that they should be perpendicular to each other. Then what you have to do, bring the prism back in its place, okay, in its place you have to bring. Now look, this is one this is one refracting phase, this is one refracting phase of the prism. The incident ray, the ray coming from these all pins, this is striking the prism, passing through the prism, and then we are trying to see those rays through this phase. See, so these are the two refracting phases. This is the edge, this is the base. So what we have seen in that on that board, this ray is coming, okay, coming near which one, near the base of the prism. So when you bend down, you bring the eye in level, okay, near the base, not near the edge of the prism. Now the next step is you just bend down, okay, bend down, then try to see those pins, okay, through this interface, I mean through this refracting phase. Then close one of your eyes and then try to fix the third pin. Then locate that line, okay? Locate that line. You can just keep a scale there and locate the line. Then, okay, let me show that. Okay, after completion, I will show you this through the camera. Then the line is located. The line along which I see the, what you say, all pins which I kept here. Then what I do, I fix the third pin over here, such that after I fix this third pin, I will not be able to see the other pins because all are coming in line. When I shift sideways, I will be able to see it. Now what should I do? I should fix one more pin by keeping one eye closed. And after I fix the fourth pin, you will adjust that so that you will be seeing only the fourth one. Sideways you shift, then you will be able to see the other pins also. Okay, now what you have to do? Now look. When you look from this side, you will see all the 4 pins in the same line. Now, let me try to show you through the camera. Let me see whether it is possible. Top view says that incident ray is here, emergent ray is here. Now let us have a look at this incident ray through this interface of the prism. Look, both incident ray and emergent ray are in the same straight line. Now let me touch one pin here. Okay. Now you see direct, actually my finger is here. But through the prism you see where it is looking. Where it is appearing like that is coinciding with the emergent ray, right? What is the reason for that? Refraction of light. Then it passes through the prism. Now again let's come up. Now what we have to do? We have to remove this prism and then remove these all pins. So here I made all ready for saving the time, okay? So here what you have to do now, you measure this angle of incidence, angle of refraction, and then label these angles here, okay? Same way you do for the other interface also. And then what you have to do, here you can see this is the direction of incident ray, right? So here I produced the direction of this incident ray and this emergent ray's path also produced back. You can see that both the rays are meeting at this point, right? So the incident ray deviated from its path through this angle, right? This angle is called what? Angle of deviation. So you have to measure the angle of deviation and then you have to mark there. Here you see you have to keep the protractor like this. And here it is coming around you see, if you look here, it is coming 10, 20, 30, 40. Let me tell you one more thing before I wind up. Look, this is the direction of incident ray and this is the direction of emergent ray. Then how we obtain the path of light inside the prism? So here we remember one thing. The light strikes at this point and then leaves at this point. Once the light enters into a medium, there is no bending inside, right? In bending occurs only at the interface. That means here to here, if you want to get the path of light, just you draw a straight line from here to here. Right, so what we observed here, when light passes through a prism, it bends towards the base of the prism. Okay, that's all about prism.